with you around 1 o'clock for the commencement of the meeting. pies and chips and hot drinks, plus all the rest of the confectionery there. So you'll make use of that. And let's hope we have a good afternoon, and we'll see you down in the club room at the end of the meeting.
Hey, students, all about hot food?
Around the top side there. We'll try and pick up some of the other 95 car of Jackson Kedsley's in the field as well. 18 coming around will be the Nelson driver Conley Webley. The late entry, was it? Oh, put an 8 on it. 18, Monica Rawson. Then, yep, down on the entry list is an 8. She's in there. Tom Everett is there as well on the green as they get them underway. No. Jump the start there. 23 Jack Brownlees is back in the field. There's a couple of our newer drivers. 99 Joseph Carroll is in the field, and the one with the ribbon on the first time, and a big welcome to her is Georgia Lewis in the 38 car. So she'll be on our mentor program. So Romeo Warren Webb on the front with the 18 of Monica Rawson. In behind the 98 of Jack Reed with the 71 of Darcy Rasmussen. Then the 12, Ben Everett with 15. Shilton. This will be DJ's last run. We thought that would be last week, but some sufficient interest. They've got another one today. Then Jack Brownlee's on the outside, just can't quite pick up that other car there. Miller Johnson in the 22. So this time we'll see if we get them underway, and we have done. So the first one on the last day of this 22-23 season for the quarter midgets, it's Romeo Warren Webb who's out in front, being chased pretty hard there by the 71 of Darcy Rasmussen as they come into our Southbridge pit turn. Back on the inside is 15 of DJ Shilton, and then the 94 car will be Jack Brownlee's in that 94 car, moving into that third position. It'll be Macy Brownlee's in the 23 today, but it's Romeo Warren Webb out in front under quite a bit of pressure from Darcy Rasmussen as he looks to try and find a way round, but Romeo's holding a good line. He just drifted out a wee bit wider there, and Rasmussen's right on his tail. Oh, bit of a touch up there as they go into that turn. He just have to readdress that and drop back. I think he's done that quite successfully in that second spot. DJ Shilton in that third position. Ben Everett pushing up on the inside of Jack Brownlee's in the 94 as they go down the Canterbury waterproofing back straight. As the leaders come around, they're just going to put Macy Brownlee's a lap down, but there's still a big battle going on there at the front of the field, and it's Darcy Rasmussen who has got through. Leads by about 4 car lengths at this stage as the white flag comes out. So it's Darcy Rasmussen on this way home from Romeo Warren Webb. DJ Shilton in that third position from Jack Brownlee's. Then it'll be 18 Monika Rawson, the next one on the track, but the flag's going to fly for the 71 car of Darcy Rasmussen as he leads Romeo Warren Webb home from 15 DJ Shilton, the 94 of Jack Brownlee's. It'll be 18 Monika Rawson ahead of the 22 of Miller Johnson and the 98 of Jack Reed at the top end of the field. So the track's looking pretty good there, and that's our first one done and dusted for this final day. Of course, it's a time to thank all our officials and sponsors. Certainly we've got to thank City South Van Spares, Maces Road there in Bromley. Very good supporters here of Ellesemere. They bring their tow truck as well. They do basic services, detailed services, have lots of spare parts for vans, Toyota, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Ford, Mazda and other populars as well. And they also do engine and mechanical repairs and have accessories and tyres. That is City South Van Spares and Tyres, 166 Maces Road in Bromley. Well, we've got a field of different range of vehicles here today. We've got some flat trackers, some sidecars, got some production saloons, some youth mini stocks as well. We've had a bit of a dropout with the modified sprints. I think we're down to about 3 cars from there. We've got some 6-cylinder sprints. So there's certainly a wide range. I think we've got some C-grade here as well. So there's a pretty wide range of cars and bits and pieces, and I certainly have Lawrence here. You've done production saloons and youth mini stocks and bits just recently, Lawrence, at Ashburton.
Yes, that's right. Some great racing last weekend in their Wills weekend at Ashburton. Of course, I think it's the second weekend of the Wills weekend this weekend, and down there in Ashburton where they've got the Ashburton Street Sprint happening around about now.
Right, we see the tapes go out, so it's a suggestion that the sidecars are out on track. And we've got a field of them coming. we've got Nathan Bruce will have Nathan O'Brien with him on the 22 bike. There's Ben Morris and Graham Partridge will be on the 23. Paul Anderson will be riding the 28, and he's got Ellesemere Whitworth on there today. He's teamed up with Paul, previously partnering with Bailey Partridge. 33, the old hands, Wayne Bryce and Stephen Burrow. Bruce Savage is in there with Carl Foster. Riding a new bike to them is the 69, the brothers. It's Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher. And then the 95, Jasmine Colley Case for Dad Nick Case as well. So a bit of interest. There's about 7 of them here, and I think they'll all be on the field.
Well, you mentioned Carl Foster. He won the New Zealand Sidecar CTRA Championship here earlier in the season.
Yep, that's correct. So it'll be interesting. We'll see if we can get some times for this meeting from the machine. Most of these bikes now have to run transponders. Not sure whether they've all got them up and running today, but we'll certainly I'll get them at the end of the meeting if they have. There's a couple of them just wanting to do a lap or two. A lot of teams have been changed over. The 28 is certainly one. Paul Anderson and Ellesemere Whitworth. Just go and have a look there, and then the other one is Wayne Bryce and Stephen Burrow. They're on another bike they haven't ridden. And then the ones coming around there is the 46, Bruce Savage and Carl Foster, and they're on one of Mango Turner's old bikes, previously owned bike. So just a couple of laps for them to dial in. So Bruce Savage, Carl Foster on the 46, Paul Anderson and Ellesemere Whitworth, young 16-year-old swinging firm on the 28, and Wayne Bryce and Stephen Burrow. It's going to be a fairly tough season for the sidecar section. There's a number of different people laid up all around the country having suffered some very nasty injuries, and we certainly wish them the best. So these, yeah, the next couple are just having a bit of a practice. There's Ben Morris and Graham Partridge on the 23. Nathan Burth and Nathan O'Brien on the 22. And Nick Case and Jasmine Colley Case on the 95 bike. The only one that hasn't come out is the 69 of Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher. This is the ex-Knuckle Hill bike. Right, 69 bike. The brothers, Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher. This is the ex-Knuckle Hill bike, as I understand. So they have to settle down. Bailey was teamed up with Ellesemere Whitworth. Obviously got a bit of problem there into that greasy stuff. Got the paintwork all dirty anyway, so we'll go and have another run. Just take it steady, lads. So the brothers, Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher. As they line up on the outside, looks like it's 33 Wayne Bryce and Stephen Burrow. Nick Case, Jasmine Collie Case, the next one down on 95. Right down on the inside is Paul Anderson and Ellesemere Whitworth. The 69 of Bailey and Tyler Fisher coming in next on the front row. Then we go back to the 46 of Bruce Savage and Carl Foster. Nathan Briss, Nathan O'Brien on the 22 at the back of the field alongside Ben Morris and Graham Partridge on the 23 bikes. Now the Bruce Savage and that is coming in. So 5 across the line, 2 at the back. There's Ben Morris just having an issue there with the cutout switch. John Cross just checking them all up. Let's get them in line. Just pushing Paul Anderson, Ellesemere Whitworth back a fraction. So he's happy. Away they go. So the sidecar class are underway. And it looks like it is the Bruce Savage and Carl Foster on the 46 bike who lead them out. One coming through the back there, pretty through a wee hole, was the 23 of Ben Morris and Graham Partridge, but it's Savage from Paul Anderson. Then we go to Nick Case and Jasmine Collie Case in that third position. And making a move through there is the 23 of Ben Morris and Graham Partridge. Bailey Fisher, Tyler Fisher, just sitting down on the inside. Wayne Bryce, Stephen Burrow look to go through. They got a little bit hooked up and they're out of shape there. That's 2 of them gone to the infield. Well, 1 stayed on the track. But as they come on round to pick up the white flag, it's the 46 of Bruce Savage and Carl Foster easily out in front from Nick and Jasmine Case. Oh, Paul Anderson's pulled to the infield as well. They swing round, a messy first one for the sidecars. It's 46 Bruce Savage. Carl Foster will take the win from 95. Second Jasmine Collie Case from 23 Ben Morris. Next one home will be the 69, the Bailey Partridge Tyler Fisher pair from the 22 of Nathan Burris and Nathan O'Brien. DNF will be recorded there for the 28 of Anderson and Whitworth, and also the 33 of Bryce and Burrow. Well, they'll go back and sort themselves up out after they've had a look at the track. That was the first one for the Sidecars. 46, Bruce Savage with Carl Foster on the back, taking out that win from 95, Nick and Jasmine Colley Case. That's the father and son team. And 23, Ben Morris and Graham Partridge in third from the tail of the field. Cochrane's of Canterbury, they're in 125 High Street, Leaston, and they'll sort your gear out after a long, hard season. They'll give it a check over and a good look. Also, case of bits and pieces there, and all the work needs to be done. And that is from Cochrane's of Canterbury, your farm machinery specialist.
Okay, only 3 modified sprints out there, unfortunately. There were more entered, but it looks like we've had a few with draws. Car number 94 out there, that's Brandon Hopkins. Behind Brandon, you've got 44, which is Shane Tonkin. And, of course, the 5 car, now this will be the one to watch, I'd suggest, is Craig Cox. Now, Craig's a former New Zealand Speedway ATV champion. So off the front row it is 94 Brendan Hopkins and 5 Craig Cox, and the second row will consist of number 44 Shane Tompkin. We're about to go racing around about 1000cc for these 4-wheel flyers. It is the Cox racing machine of Craig Cox who takes the lead from the 94 of Brendan Hopkins and the 44 of Shane Tompkin. Now this looks like it could be pretty processional, but these are the quickest cars here this afternoon, and we'll keep an eye on the lap times because we should see some good lap times out of the cars, especially with the track in such good nick at the moment. So out of turns 3 and 4, it is Craig Cox, your race leader, from the 94 of Brendan Hopkins and the 44 of Shane Tompkin. And I can't see any changes to this at the moment there, Warwick.
No, well, Craig Cox is by far the most experienced one. Brendan Hopkins and 44 of Shane Tompkin, relatively new drivers to the class, or they are on the pace relatively quickly. But Cox is by far the most experienced one here.
Well, it is the Suzuki GSX R1000s that tend to dominate this class, but there's the odd Yamaha R1 involved with the modified sprints, and we get the white flag for 1 lap to go for Craig Cox, and it's going to be a pretty easy win for the 5 car of Craig Cox. Second place to 94 Brendan Hopkins, and the third to the 44 of Shane Tompkin.
Well, I think that almost got there. I think I had the modified sprint lap time is held by Courtney Jones at 14.12. 14.66 was one of the quicker times there for Craig Cox. So certainly the track is in pretty reasonable condition there today, but just a shame there's been a drop off in some of those early numbers. Doyleston Engineering Works, the leaders in outdoor power equipment, now situated in 1 Queen Street in Doyleston. They have all sorts of bits and pieces there for them. Sheets of paper coming out everywhere. But the Dawson Engineering Works, they have Makita outdoor power equipment, SKF bearings and seals, Victor outdoor power equipment, as well as Briggs and Stratton motors, generators and water blasters. They are your leaders in outdoor power equipment and also do a wide range of engineering work there as well. That is Doyleston Engineering Works.
Now the flat track is out next there, Warwick, I believe. So you know a wee bit about the flat trackers. Of course, they've competed out here, I believe, on the vintage speedway days. Be interesting to get some lap times there from the flat trackers too, I think.
So if you want anything done in the form of personalised clothing, custom stickers, crafting vinyl, crafting accessories, Mount House Vinyl Supplies, go and get hold of Rachel or check her out on the Facebook page. That is Madhouse Custom Supplies and Vinyl.
Okay, out now with the C-grade saloons, and off the front row is car number 65, Dennis Luscombe. Alongside him is the 72, Dylan Anderson. Of course, Dylan won 2 or 3 races last weekend down there at Ashburton, their 2-day meeting. On the second row is car number 64, Earl Luscombe, and car number 31, Wayne Sullivan, who's had a bit of success here at Ellesmere before. And on the third row we have 669, Dean Bioski, and car number 47, Chad Paven. Away in racing, great start from the 72 of Dylan Anderson. Of course, Dennis Luscombe sits there in second place from Wayne Sutherland back in third in the 31 car. Fairly strung out at this stage with the 64 of Earl Luscombe and the 47 of Chad Pavelin. And at the tail of the field is the 669 of Dean Bioski. So I can't see anyone getting anywhere near Dylan Anderson in the 72. Down the front straight he comes into turns 1 and 2. Dylan Anderson from Dennis Luscombe and Wayne Sullivan. See a bit of a close dice between Earl Luscombe. Of course, Earl's been around the class for quite a while now, and the 47 of Chad Haviland. So your race leader comes around turns 3 and 4, Dylan Anderson. Making no race of it at this stage from Earl Luscombe. Sorry, Dennis Luscombe, the 65 car. And Wayne Sullivan in the 31. So it's a cheap form of racing, the C-grade saloons, fairly easy to get into. Very, very standard. Put a roll cage in and away in racing pretty much. Things are heating up now for second and third there, with Wayne Sullivan starting to close in on Earl Luscombe, or Dennis Luscombe, sorry, as the checkered flag comes out for our race winner, Dylan Anderson in the 72. Second place, it will be Dennis Luscombe from Wayne Sullivan. And back there in fourth place, we've got a real good battle going on. And it will be Earl Luscombe just hold off Chad Paven. And at the tail of the field will be Dean Bioski in the 669 car.
Well, yeah, certainly good run there to Dylan Anderson. Been here before and has done that several times. 65, Dennis Luscombe taking the second spot from 31, Wayne Sullivan. So that's pretty good run for those in the C grade. Sort of had trouble getting numbers from them as well, so it's good to see that they've fronted up with a field this time. Another class that we've struggled to pick up some numbers for too is the production saloons, and we have a few of them here today. Lawrence will give you the call on those. Bruce, youth mini stocks, we've jumped them, we'll give you those as well. Youth mini stocks there, just a couple of withdrawals, but still quite a good field.
Okay, youth mini stocks. I see Jackson Hoytis has withdrawn, unfortunately. Of course, he won the New Zealand CTRA title, Ashburton Speedway, last weekend. Had a great battle with Conley Webley for that title. Unfortunately, Conley slipped back in the placing somehow and finished around about 5th or 6th overall. But Conley Webley will start off grid 1. Alongside of him is the 15 of Connor Turner. On grid 3 is the 112 of Paige McNally. On Paige's outside is the 28 of Layla Jeffcoat. Then we see on grid position 5 is the 41N of Andre Musgrove. Alongside of him is the 7 of Tony Lee Best. And then the final row of the grid we have car number 55. And that's Kayla Musgrove. And car 32, Isabel Harris. Away and racing, great start for Conley Webley, all the way from top of the South Speedway in Nelson. Out front, the 15 sitting there in second place, Connor Turner. There goes the big move from Paige McNally up to third place. And fourth place, it's still Layla Jeffcoat from Musgrove, Andre Musgrove there in the 41 car. Then back to the 7 of Tony Lee Best. Oh, look at this for second and third. Connor Turner just holding off. That's the Ashburton car, the Cromwell car of Paige McNally. McNally goes to the inside, up to second place. Layla Jeffcoat sits there in fourth place ahead of Andre Musgrove in the 41 car. And then there's a gap back to Tony Lee Best and Isabel Harris. And at the tail of the field, I think it's first time out for Kayla Musgrove in the 55 car. So we pick up your race leader. It's Conley Webley, but a great dice going on for second, third, fourth and fifth. Paige McNally sits there in second in the 112 car. Of course, I did see a move there up from Andre Musgrove up the inside of Layla Jeffcoat. Can't make it stick. The two Nelson cars going at hammer and tongs. And behind the Ashburton car, oh, the two Nelson cars get together and Layla Jeffcoat is shot to the infield. So we'll pick up your race leader, Conley Webley, who normally does double duty in the quarter midget. Of course, he's running out of years for the quarter midget, and he's still running the youth mini stock, but not for much longer. But it's McNally sitting there in second place from Connor Turner in the 15 car, then back to Andre Musgrove. So around about a lap and a half to go for our race leader, Conley Webley, as he goes down the back straight. So the white flag will come out this time round for Conley Webley. Good dice going on for second place. And Paige McNally doing a good job there from the 15 of Connor Turner, then back to Andre Musgrove. Through turns 3 and 4 for the last time. It is the 88 of Conley Webley. Of course, we've seen him win here in the quarter midget. And now we see him winning here. Oh, there's a good dice for second place. It looks like Paige McNally got it all wrong in the last corner there, allowing Connor Turner in the 15 car through to second. McNally finishing there in third in the 112. Back in fourth place was Andre Musgrove, the 41 car. Then back to the 7 of Tony Lee Best. And at the tail of the field is Isabel Harris. So a good win there to Conley Webley in the 88 car. Now young Conley's still only 13 years of age, so doing a stellar job out front. So a big future for the young lad in the ex Cole Anderson car. So he's sponsored by Express Lube, Grid Tyres, Tyre World and Valvoline.
Yeah, no, good run there from Conley Webley, but not sure what happened with Paige McNally. She certainly got the corner wrong, coming through on the last turn and drifted out wide and got a little bit out of shape, and that allowed the 15 of Connor Turner to come through for that second spot. So McNally finished there in third. TJ Photos, they're always here taking shots of the speedway action. They don't do just speedway, they do other sports, teams, family and groups, weddings, pets, portraits, almost anything that moves or doesn't move, that is TJ Photos, and they're great supporters of Ellesemere Raceway.
Well, now with the production saloons. And off the front row, of course, we've got car number 10, Casey Ryan. Of course, he is the son of Aaron Ryan in the 8 car. So it is Casey Ryan in the ex-Hiddleston car in car number 10. And on the outside is the 188 of Bruce Cable. Of course, he's driving the car that Greg Rooney normally drives. Then we see on grid 3, it is the 17 of Vaughan Fairburn, away and racing, and it's the Sidecar Toolboxes car there of Bruce Cable with the lead, closely followed by Ian Clark. Now Clarkie and the Integra will have a good look at Bruce Cable, who want to get past him pretty quick and get away from Vaughan Fairburn in the 17 car. Oh, look at that. Fairburn up the inside of Bruce Cable, and it is Ian Clark in the Integra, and back in second place at the moment it is the Honda of Fairburn. Now Byrne is a former 3NZ, so very quick indeed, immaculate looking car. As they go down the back straight, Ian Clark, of course, he's pretty local, lives in Rolleston, leads them through turns 3 and 4. Bruce Cable sits back there in third place. A good battle between Aaron Ryan in the 8 car, that's the ex-Lee Crew car, and of course the car of Samuel Jack. And at the tail of the field is Casey Ryan in the ex-DX Corolla. And that's the car that was campaigned for many years in the Hiddleston family. Unfortunately, they had a good dice out front. Look at this, Ian Clark, Vaughan Fairburn. So these two race each other at Coke and Tools Woodford Glen Speedway, week in, week out. And the two Hondas going at it side by side. Down the front straight they come. The Tornado on the outside, that's the 17 car, has got the momentum, and they race down the back straight side by side. But Vaughan Fairburn, Ian Clark, it looks like Vaughan Fairburn, former 3NZ, takes the ascendancy and the lead. Back there in third and fourth, great dice. Young Samuel Jack doing a stellar job. Of course, he's come from motorcycling, doing a good job, harassing the big Commodore of Cable. And then back to Aaron Ryan and another Commodore. Goes a bit wide, I think he just clobbered the fence. Oh, good one there for Vaughan Fairburn, the 17, the Honda Tornado. Second place will go to Ian Clark in the Integra. Then back to the Commodore, the 3.8 Commodore there of 188 Bruce Cable. He'll be followed by the 197 of Samuel Jack. Then we go back to the 8 of Aaron Ryan and his son Casey Ryan in the ex-Hiddleston DX Corolla.
Yeah, certainly a good run there. Bit of interest at the front of the field with Ian Clark and Vaughan Fairburn, with Vaughan taking up that win. Another good drive there from Bruce Cable as well. He's up the front there early on. and he's rounded out in that third position. So that's the productions for their first run of the day. Don't forget about Neon Electrical. They're based in both Leaston and North Canterbury. But all your electrical work, whether it's irrigation, farm, industrial, municipal, electrical installation, maintenance and a breakdown service is second to none. To get hold of Neon Electrical. We're back on with the 6 cylinders. 6 cylinder, well, they're all 6 cylinders. We've got a couple of 6 shooters out here as well. We've got Brooke Soper in the 57. They'll tag on the back of this, and then the other one is the 71 of Corey Duckmanton, just coming out of the gate now. So Brooke and Corey just having drives in these wingless sprints. They're racing both the Gemmet cars. So we've got the Bevan Cast and the 113 on the front. Outside him is the 21 of Heath Liddell. Rusty Liddell in behind, Greg Preble and Matt Goddard. And they've let them go. And straight away it's Heath Liddell out in front of the field. Matt Goddard's the one that's made the move from near the tail, moving up into that third spot in behind the 24 of Greg Preble. The Absolute car had a few issues with that in the last few seasons, last few meetings, and it looks like Greg may well have got that sorted and running a little better. He's under some pressure from Matt Goddard in the 68 as he comes in behind now, looks for a run up the inside as he got the room as they head into that Dunsandel turn. Rusty Liddell there in that 4th position, followed by Bevan Cast and then Corey Duckmanton and Brooke Soper. But while Heath Liddell's got it all on his own out in front, Greg Preble, Matt Goddard and Rusty Liddell having a keen battle there. Goddard going out quite wide and he's lost some ground as he got into the loose there as Rusty Liddell put some pressure on Greg Preble. He drips the right in front of Goddard as they go into that Southbridge pit turn. But it's still Heath Liddell out in front, but the interest is 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment as Greg Preble goes down the Equus back straight. Rusty Liddell up high against the fence there. He's left the door open. Can the 68 of Matt Goddard slide on through? And he does that. Then we go back to the 4th place of Bevan Cast and the 113, then Corey Duckmanton and Brooke Soper. But it's Heath Liddell. He's on the tail of Brooke Soper now as they go through the Dunsandel turn. Matt Goddard's got himself into that 2nd spot from Greg Preble and Rusty Liddell. As the white flag comes out for Heath Liddell, he's in behind Duckmanton now, who's closed up on Bevan Cast as they go down the Duckmanton back straight and into the Southbridge pit turn for the last time. It'll be the 21 car of Heath Liddell who takes that win as they go through. It'll be Matt Goddard in the 68 who comes home in 2nd after a very good battle there. Greg Preble on the 24 has managed to hang on to that 3rd spot from the 11 of Rusty Liddell. Then we'll go back to the 113 of Bevan Cast, the 71 of Corey Duckmanton and the 57 of Brooke Soper. So certainly very into, not many cars in there, but the racing was rather interesting in the 6s, with Heath Liddell taking the win from the 68 of Matt Goddard, who had quite a bit of work to do to get himself into that 2nd spot from the 24 of Greg Preble. Rusty Liddell got that 4th position just ahead of Bevan Cast in that 5th spot. Of course, talking about Corey Duckmanton, who's having a go in the wingless sprint out there. Duckmanton had limited They offer a full cultivation and drilling and planting service across the Selwyn area. Got 3 tractors from 165 to 340 horsepower. They have a Sky Easy drill for all your drilling. They do ploughing, heavy disking, precision planting from 37 up to 75 centimetres apart. They have a Horse Toronto heavy cultivator. They do roller drilling, Cambridge rolling, knockering, all-round finish cultivation and power harrowing. That's Corey and Diane Duckmanton. They service the Selwyn district. Give them a ring. Just the sixers just quietly going around 2 and 3 wide there, just packing that track down, as I assume the sidecars will be out for their next run. Don't forget about the Southbridge Hotel at 95 High Street in Southbridge. Have a bar and TAB and pokies in there. Do meals as well. That is the Southbridge Hotel, 97 High Street in Southbridge. Well, the sidecars have had one look at the track here. Yeah, coming out again. See 6 of them. We got one that's dropped out, have we? 6, the gate's closed. We'll just pick them up as they come round. 46, Bruce Savage and Carl Foster are here. 23, Ben Morris and Graham Partridge. The 33 of Wayne Bryce and Stephen Burrow. The 22 bike of the Nathans, Nathan Briss and Nathan O'Brien. 95, Nick, father and daughter team, Nick and Jasmine Colley Case. And then the brothers, Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher on the 69. So it looks like we've lost the 28 bike of Paul Anderson. But down on the line, down on gate 1 is 23, Morrison Partridge. Then the Briston O'Brien. Then we've got the Partridge Fisher combination. Then we go to the Case team. Then Bryce. And then right on the outside, it is Bruce Savage and Carl Foster, and that's Bruce Savage and Carl Foster who get away the best of that start and go down the Equus back straight for the first time. They swing into our Dunsandel turn at the head of the field from Ben Morris and Graham Partridge. Nick and Jasmine Colley Case in that 3rd spot from Wayne Bryce and Stephen Burrow. Then we go back to Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher. Oh, looks like Bryce and Burrow have struck a problem. They've slowed down.
I think they've lost their wheel.
They've lost the wheel lying on the track there.
Yep.
So yep, the little trainer wheels come off. So yeah, not a good look. Could have been rather nasty. So they'll be very lucky to survive that, and particularly almost beneficial that no one else collected it. And Stephen Burrow will be running around there looking for the nut or something. That's certainly a lucky escape. So we'll just see, obviously this one will be rerun. When they get themselves sorted.
There's a bit of smoke or something coming out of the 16 bike of Savage and Foster, I noticed.
Yep. Looks like might have got a bit warm, has it? Is it smoke or steam? Yeah, they're certainly having a look down there. Yeah. Who said 1-6? You guys not listening. 46, that's what we've said all day. Just you concentrate on your job, I'll do mine. No. 46. Right, well, while they try and sort out what they're doing there, we'll go on to another good supporter of Blair's. Blair's number one, they're one of New Zealand's leading tyre wholesalers, family owned and operated, importing wholesale and wholesaling tyres since 1956. Kimo, Goodride, Patelli tyres, as well as other brands. They have them all there for you, so you contact Blair's for your tyre needs. Well, being the last meeting of the season, a few people looking for a bit of a break and a bit of a rest while they build things together for next year. But we must thank all our volunteers. It's getting extremely difficult to run these meetings, particularly when you have things like long weekends and Mother's Day, that we tend to try and put some race meetings on. So our volunteers that have to give up. A lot of them don't get the thrill of racing, but they do have to give up their spare time to ensure the meetings can be run, and we certainly appreciate that fact. Right, racing away again, and this time 23, Ben Morris and Graham Partridge have scorched to the front of the field. It'll be Bruce Savage and Carl Foster in that second position on the 46 bike. There's a bit of smoke and that coming off there, or something rubbing. I don't know whether you keep running that so long, but we'll see. It seems to have cleared itself a wee bit as they close up on the 23 bike of Morris and Partridge. This is the former Bradley Sharp Lance Jeffcoat machine. Certainly doing it rather well at the front of the field. Ben Morris, 3 times the Ellesmere champs when that was run, and he loves this clay track here at Ellesmere. He leads them round as they pick up the white flag for 1 to go. Still Savage and Foster in that second spot from Nick and Jasmine Colley Case, then Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher and Nathan O'Brien on the back of Nathan Briss's machine. Anyway, here they come. 23 will take the win from 46. He never gave up. Chased them all the way. So Ben Morris, Graham Partridge take that win from the hard-charging Bruce Savage and Carl Foster on the 46 bike. Then 95, Nick and Jasmine Colley Case take the third spot over the Bailey Partridge Tyler Fisher team on the 69 bike, with the 22 of Nathan Burris, Nathan O'Brien in that 5th spot. The 33, another DNF for them when they lost their wheel, but hopefully they can get that sorted. .29 is the fastest lap for the sidecars there through the 23 bike. So Yep, and a 17.35 by the 42 of Bruce Savage. So they were certainly not that much between them.
You mean the 46?
46. Well, they got the 46. Yeah, they've got different transponders have been swapped around, so they've come up with the registered ones. 46 or 146 was it? I don't know. What did I don't remember saying that at all. Quarter midgets are back on track, and we have got a field for them. 21 Tom Everett will start from the grid 1, 95 Jackson Kedley from 2. 22 Miller Johnson will go from 3 with a 23 car driven by Macy Brownlees from 4. 94 Jack Brownlees goes from 5. The 15 of DJ Shilton goes from 6. 12 Ben Everett goes from grid 7. 71 Darcy Rasmussen from grid 8. The 98 of Jack Reed goes from 9. The 18 Monica Rawson from 10. 8 Romeo Warren Webb from 11. 99 Joseph Carroll from 12. Relatively new driver, our newest driver, the 38 Georgia Lewis, will start from grid 13 in the 38 car. So as these quarter midgets come round, they were entered. The Lockie Martin set a new record here for the quarter midgets at the last meeting. Well, they've let them go. 95 Jackson Kedgley gets out to an early lead, about 4 wide going into that turn as DJ Shilton and Darcy Rasmussen work their way through the pack. But it looks like it's Tom Everett holding that second spot. There comes Jack Brownlees in the 94 getting on the top side of DJ Shilton. Tucked in behind is Ben Everett in the 12 car. Darcy Rasmussen looking for a higher run down the CJ Phillips construction straight into our Southbridge pit turn. They all come still 2 and 3 wide there, just jostling for position, but it's Jackson Kedgley in the 95 that's nice and cleanly out in front. There looks like Jack Brownlees has picked up a bit of momentum, moving around trying to get into that second spot, which DJ Shilton holds in the 15 car. Tucked in behind Brownlees, or they might come through this time, is the Everett boys, and it is Ben Everett just got round the top side of Tom, and so too did a number of other cars, and there's a couple of the Everett boys got together. Darcy Rasmussen is caught up in that one, and the 8 of Romeo Ryan Webb, and great driving for some of those other younger drivers to miss all that. The 18 of Monica Rawson got through, young Jack Reed, and the 22 of Miller Johnson missed that tangle of cars. Well done to them. There's just a little battle on there. I think it was the 12 of Ben Everett made a good move to get through, but just couldn't hold on to the car as he came midway through the turn, and he got a wee nudge from his younger brother. And then Darcy Rasmussen in the 71 was caught up in that, and then along came the 8 of Romeo Warren Webb as well. Well, great to see the sun out here at Ellesmere for our final meeting of the season. No, the weather conditions are a bit chilly, but the sun all makes it all that much better. Certainly we'll keep pushing on with the program because the weather is due by all forecasts to close in later on in the day. And we certainly don't want to get caught with that. So great to see some of the cars back up underway anyway. Darcy Rasmussen out along there, Macy Brownlees. Just checking on how many laps they've had and who's the lead car. The lead car was the 95 of Jackson Kedgley and DJ Shilton. I think they know what they're doing. They're there. we'll just have to have a look at the running order. Well, that's certainly different. It goes back a lap though, doesn't it? So it was 21 Thomas Everett ahead of 94 Jack Brownlees, 15 DJ Shilton, third Benjamin Everett, fourth Jackson Kedsley, Darcy Rasmussen, Miller Johnson, Jack Reed, Macy Brownlees, Joseph Carroll. Just depends where they slot young Ben back in. But as it is, it's just a club day, so nothing too serious. Certainly looks like the 21 of Tom Everett is a non-starter. After that one. So 95 Jackson Kedsley with DJ Shilton in the 15 on the front row. You know, I think it's very hard to pick that second car up, but it is the 94 of Jack Brownlees on the inside of the 8 of Romeo Warren Webb. Then it goes back to the 12 of Ben Everett and the 18 of Monica Rawson. Then Rasmussen and Miller Johnson. Then Reed and Macy Brownlees as they let them go. And it's DJ Shilton who's got the early run coming out of the unsandaled turn from Romeo Warren Webb. Brownlees, that's Jack Brownlees back there in that third position as Jackson Kedsley gets shuffled back a little bit. He goes back one more spot as the 71 of Darcy Rasmussen picks the pace up and he moves around. He's picked a couple of spots up. In behind DJ Shilton, it's Romeo Warren Webb now, Rasmussen. There's Warren Webb making a move for the front of the field as they go into our Southbridge pit turn, and he takes over the lead, but he's drifted out a wee bit wide, and Shilton tries to come back at him. Darcy Rasmussen sits up on the high side. He's got the more momentum this time and moves up into that second spot. So it's Romeo Warren Webb from Darcy Rasmussen and DJ Shilton. There's Ben Everett coming in underneath. It will be Monica Rawson as the checkered flag comes out. So it's Romeo Warren Webb who takes the win from 71 Darcy Rasmussen. Then it goes back to the 15 of DJ Shilton. It'll be the 12 of Ben Everett in there. And I'm pretty certain he was ahead of the 18 of Monica Rawson as they come through. Not sure what happened to the 94 car, Lawrence. It seemed to drop back a little bit. We'll have to wait for the official results. But certainly very interesting race there with the top half of the field, and 8 Romeo Warren Webb taking the win from Darcy Rasmussen, with 15 DJ Shilton in that third spot from the 12 of Ben Everett, and then I think it was the 18 of Monica Rawson who rounds out the top 5, but I'll certainly confirm that when they print the sheets off, and we'll get them back to you. So yes, must have been a real problem there, because Jack Brownlee's faded to about 7th place. It was Darcy. No, it can't be. Someone can't have a transponder there, I'd say. 2 transponders not there. So, but yep, that agrees with most of us. Anyway, Lawrence, modified sprints. Just the 3 of them again. Well, we'll do that as Stu's trying to put a little bit of water on. We talk about Equus Industries, Unit 6, 100 Fitzgerald Ave. They suppliers and manufacturer of specialist coating systems for commercial and residential buildings. They do paints, plasters, tanking, waterproof membranes, torch-on roofing, flooring and earthquake repairs. It is watertight technology, coatings and silicate systems and flooring technology for you, all from Equus Industries Limited.
Okay, so out front, before we go green, it's Shane Tompkin. And he gets the green, and Coxie's sitting there in second place. I don't think it'll be long before Coxie's in front. Or he just gets just walked a wee bit there by Shane Tompkin. And the 94, Brendan Hopkins, looking a wee bit racy as well. So out front now, it was only a matter of time. Coxie hits the front from Shane Tompkin. Back there in third place, trying to get through. Brendan Hopkins in the 94 car. Runs a bit wide and just gets a wee bit untidy. Loses a lot of ground there, so this will make it interesting. Can Brendan Hopkins catch the 44 of Shane Tompkin? Forget about Craig Cox. He's gone for all money, and there's no way anyone's going to get near him, barring a incident or mechanical trouble. And Coxie just got a bit of understeer in that car of his as he goes through the turns, but doing a good job controlling it. Back there in second, it's a great dice there going on for second and third. Brendan Hopkins just getting a bit loose coming out of turn 2. But Shane Tompkin holding that position down, but for how much longer is Brendan Hopkins closing that gap down real quick. But out front, it's all Craig Cox in the 5 car, and that's 2 out of 2. But look at the dice for second place. Hopkins up the inside will snatch it away in the 94 car from Shane Tompkin back there in third in the 44. And we might try and get some lap times on these guys again. 14:52, I presume that's for Craig Cox. Yep. So that's around about, I think around about 4/10 off the lap record for the modified sprints. 14.1 is the lap record for modified sprints, held by Courtney Jones.
Right, Signals New Zealand Limited, they're in 9th place. Riccarton, they're known for award-winning innovations and solutions in communications. They've got a recognised expertise team there that can help your business, whether it's mobile, radio, data comms, infrastructure or field engineering. They'll listen to your requirements and can deliver you the most cost-effective solution. They're part of the LFT group of companies, which is New Zealand owned with over 45 years experience. That's the Signals New Zealand Limited, part of the LFT group, proud to be supporting us here at Ellesemere Raceway. Back on the flat trackers, just the 5 of them again. There was a spare bike down there, but while we had organised a rider, apparently he's had a dicky leg or something, so it might have been better, probably best to stay off it. So 351 on the KTM will be Tony Cutler, one of the instigators that have helped Wayne Drake and Johnny Brassel put this flat track class together. 97 Nicholas Nelson from the Yamaha. 9 on the old Yamaha 500, the TT 500 is Jamie McDonald. And on the Suzuki, Cox. Off they go. The target's the Yamaha of Nicholas Nelson, who gets himself to the front of the field from the 10 of Sean Cox. Then the familiar figure of small little fella Jamie McDonald on the TT 500 in that third spot, looking for a run around the top side of Cox. Then behind, just having a look, watching the lines of these other guys, is the 72 of Wayne Drake and Tony Cutler. So Nicholas Nelson down the Canterbury waterproofing back straight, leads them through. Jamie McDonald takes the wide run on the outside may have lost a bit of ground there as Sean Cox moves up into that second spot. Wayne Drake goes into third. As they go around our Dunsandel turn, Wayne Drake just trying to power out of the Value Cars Warehouse turn. Swings in. Just trying to get the power down on the track, but it's Nicholas Nelson comfortably out in front at this stage from Wayne Drake. Sean Cox can have a good little battle there with Jamie McDonald on the TT 500 as they both swing in through the Garden City drainage pit gate. But it's Nicholas Nelson by about 5 bike lengths out in front from Wayne Drake at this stage. Jamie McDonald just pulled away from Sean Cox a little. And then Tony Cutler. So the white flag comes out with just one to go. And Nicholas Nelson is out in front from Wayne Drake, just taking it steady, going around the outside, but Nelson just forces him a little bit wide. He now cuts back down on the inside and they line up together as they come through the Southbridge pit turn. Drake on the inside, Nelson up high. It will be 97, Nicholas Nelson, who will take the win from Wayne Drake. 9, Jamie McDonald gets that third spot from the 10 of Sean Cox. And it'll be the 3-5-1.
I was noticing Warwick, our race winner there, Nicholas Nelson was leaning forward on the bike as he's going down the straights. Just getting a wee bit more momentum maybe.
Lawrence, I'm just busy doing another little job there. Yep, just try and get the weight further forward. Seem to move a bit like the solo bikes, they move backwards and forwards a bit there to keep the momentum going, get the most drive they can. What have we got there on the big screen? The lap times. What's the fastest lap time? Was Nicholas Nelson there. 20.49. Yep, was one of Nicholas' best times.
C-grade saloons, and it looks like we've got a standing start, so that should be very interesting indeed. And off the front row, it looks like we've got car number 31, Wayne Sullivan. On his outside is car 72, sorry, not 72, car 669, that's Dean Vioski. On the second row we have car number 72, Dylan Anderson, winner of race 1. Alongside of him is car 64, Earl Luscombe. And then we see car 47 on the inside, that is Chad Pavlin. And car number 65, finishing second last time out, that of course is Dennis Luscombe. So it looks like they were away in racing. And Wayne Sullivan is your race leader, car number 31. And he's had success here at Ellesmere before. You'll see 3SL on the side of the car. That is meaning he came third in the South Island Champs, did Wayne Sullivan. So he leads them down the back straight from Vioski. Around the outside of Vioski is the 72 of Dylan Anderson and the 47 of Chad Pavlin. So this 64 there is Earl Luscombe, and at the tail of the field is Dennis Luscombe in the 65 car. So the majority of the time these C-grade saloons race at Ashburton Speedway. And it looks like Dylan Anderson starting to really close in on our race leader, Wayne Sullivan. Back there in third, good dice there. Dean Vioski being attacked by the 47 of Chad Pavlin, and the 64 of Earl Luscombe coming up the inside of Pavlin, gets the rear wheel off the ground. Down the front straight, 3 wide, look at this, round the outside goes Earl Luscombe. It's a long way round there in these C-grade saloons, but out front, look at this dice for the lead. Wayne Sullivan and Dylan Anderson. Dylan Anderson's got the momentum on the outside, but Sullivan protecting that pole line for dear life. Back there in third place, Earl Luscombe has forced his way through into third, ahead of Dean Vioski and the 47 of Chad Pavlin. See, we seem to have lost Dennis Luscombe. There we go, there's the 1 to 31 of Wayne Sullivan, second place to 72 of Dylan Anderson, third to 64 Earl Luscombe. Back there in fourth place will be the 669 of Dean Vioski, and fifth place to the 47 of Chad Pavlin. And at the tail of the field, it looks like he's still out there. That's 65, Dennis Luscombe.
Well, they said they were having a standing start, and I thought they were just joking when they let them go. Expected them to front up, but that apparently was the start of the race. So yeah, win there to Wayne Sullivan over the 72 of Dylan Anderson and 64 Earl Luscombe. So the youth mini stocks, the next one's out, and they certainly put on some entertaining racing in their first event. So back to Lawrence, so we'll see what they can do this time.
First car out is Tony Lee Best from Kaiapoi, 16 years of age, so she hasn't got much longer to go in this grade. In the 1200cc Nissan engine car, she was second in the best of the rest at Ashburton Speedway. Alongside of her is car number 41, and that's Andre Musgrove, just 13 years of age in a Nissan Datsun. Our most respected rival is Conley Webley, who sits there in the second row on the outside. On the inside of the second row is Kayla Musgrove, just 12 years of age from Nelson. Then we move back to the 15 of Connor Turner on grid 5, the 15 car. Now he's from Christchurch, contracted to Ashburton Speedway, 14 years of age, another Nissan or Datsun. And alongside of him is the 112 of Paige McNally, who had an eventful race last time out. Okay, we're away and racing. Look, right round the outside goes Conley Webley in the 88 in car, top of the South Speedway, sitting there in first and second places, Andre Musgrove, the young 13-year-old, in second. Then we go back to Paige McNally, being challenged there by the 7 of Tony Lee Best. Down the front straight they come, and the 15 of Connor Turner not too far away from Layla Jeffcoat. So a battle of the two or three ladies there. We've got Paige McNally, Tony Lee Best, and the 28 of Layla Jeffcoat. Further back, you've got the 32 of Isabel Harris. Immaculate looking mini stock, that one, the 32 car. And at the tail of the field is the 55 of Kayla Musgrove. I think the young ladies outnumber the boys in this one. Oh, there's a big move from Connor Turner on the inside of the 7 of Tony Lee Best. Looks like he's made the position stick. But out front, Conley Webley in the 88, making no race of it. Of course, he won the first race in the 88 car. 19.78 for Conley Webley, so he's going quicker than the flat trackers. Second place at this stage is the 41 of Andre Musgrove. Then we move back to Paige McNally having another good run from Layla Jeffcoat and Connor Turner going at it hammer and tongs. Then further back to Tony Lee Best and the 32 of Isabel Harris as we pick up your race leader down the back straight. Interesting to note that the younger drivers seem to be dominating this class here this afternoon. Conley Webley leads them round in the 88 car ahead of Andre Musgrove in 41. Look at this dice for 4th and 5th. Layla Jeffcoat and Connor Turner. So the white flag comes out this time for last lap for the 88 of Conley Webley. Of course, we've seen Conley win races here in quarter midgets before, and he's doing the same here with the youth mini stocks. And Conley Webley will take the win away in the 88 car. That's 2 out of 2. Second place is going to go to Andre Musgrove. Third to Paige McNally to go with the first race, third placing. Then we go back to Layla Jeffcoat in the 28. Connor Turner sits there in round about 5th place ahead of Tony Lee Best, Isabel Harris, and at the tail of the field was Kayla Musgrove. So another good win to the 88 car there of Conley Webley from Nelson, just around about 13 years of age in the Nissan. That's the next, I believe that's next William Humphreys car. It's next Cole Anderson car also. And he was first at the Easter Champs in Nelson in quarter midgets.
Yeah, fastest time for the mini stocks there was a 16.691 to Conley Webley. That's what it is. 19.691 is what's come off.
Okay, production saloons now. And we saw a good win to Vaughan Fairburn last time out. It was challenged by Ian Clark, who got a good start, so he's ahead of them on the grid. So as they line up, it is the 8 car of Aaron Ryan on his outside, the 157 or the 197 of Samuel Jack. In the second row, we've got Clarkey in the 21 Integra and the DX Corolla of Casey Ryan. We're away and racing. This is going to be interesting. Some of the quicker cars further back in the field. Down the back straight they go for the first time. Aaron Ryan's lead is short-lived as the 197 of Samuel Jack takes over the lead from Ian Clark. Clarkey in the Integra. Could be one to watch in this one, as he's got a big lead over Vaughan Fairburn in the other Honda in the field. Or down the back straight they go. Ian Clark on the inside of Samuel Jack. So it's side-by-side racing as they go through turns 3 and 4, and Clarkey's got the advantage here with the on the inside. But I'll tell you what, Samuel Jack is not giving this one away lightly. Down the back straight they go, side-by-side. Vaughan Fairburn's now into 3rd place. He'll be the one to watch as Casey Ryan goes round and spinning the Hiddleston DX Corolla. Down the front straight they come. They're still side-by-side, so Samuel Jack taking the long way around. It looks like Ian Clark has got the advantage now with Vaughan Fairburn now into the 3rd place. Aaron Ryan still holds the 4th in the Battle of the Commodores with the 188 of Bruce Cable in the Greg Rooney car. Just in behind. Look at this, down the back straight they go. Vaughan Fairburn into 2nd place now. And he'll have his sights set on Clarkey. Tell you what, that car of Vaughan Fairburn, absolutely immaculate. As they go through turns 1 and 2, right on the hammer of Ian Clark. Just ran a bit wide, just lost a bit of momentum as they come through turns 3 and 4. Nothing in it between these two Hondas. Down the front straight they come. Oh, switches to the inside. But will he have the momentum? Clarkey's got the momentum on the outside, but Vaughan Fairburn on the inside. The pole line as they come out at turns 3 and 4 as the white flag comes out. So Clarkey goes defensive, grabs that pole line once again, and Vaughan Fairburn will try and get a run on him down the back straight. He's got the inside line this time. Through turns 3 and 4. Clarkey just runs a bit wide. Oh, it's going to be a grandstand finish, but Clarkey will hold on. Ian Clark will take the win away from Thurborn. Back there in third place. A great drive there from young Samuel Jack from Nelson. Then back to Bruce Cable, just ahead of the other Commodore, the earlier model Commodore there of Aaron Ryan. And Casey Ryan will bring up the rear in the DX Corolla.
Yeah, certainly some good driving there from Fawn Fairburn, from deep in the pack there to make his way through and challenge Ian Clark for that first position. But 21, Ian Clark taking the win from 17, Fawn Fairburn, with the 197 of Samuel Jack in that third position. Garden City Drainage and Civil, they are our approved drain layers. They do your drainage, service installations, water installations, and they have truck and excavator hire. That is Garden City Drainage and Civil. Contact them for all your drainage and water installation work. The sixes are back on the track, and it's the 24, Greg Preble. Looks like he's got a front row start this time from the 11 of Rusty Liddell. In behind, the 68 of Matt Goddard, the 113 of Bevan Cast, the 21 of Heath Liddell in on the third row, and then we've got the 57 of Brooke Soper and the 71 of Corey Duckmanton having a run. In those wingless sprints. Well, they're coming around picking the pace up. They've let them go. And certainly Rusty had a bit of a jump on the start there from all of them. Matt Goddard's found a hole to come through under Greg Preble. He moves up to that second spot. Preble and Heath Liddell in that fourth position from Bevan Cast, and then we go back to Corey Duckmanton and Brooke Soper. And the old man Rusty Liddell, he's put the pedal to the metal this time in this six-cylinder sprint, and he's got a very comfortable lead from Matt Goddard at this stage. Through the Dunsandel turn, Heath Liddell just trying to keep the momentum up, going a little bit wider. Got that third position as the boys are fairly well spread out. Greg Preble is back in that fourth spot for Bevan Cast, who's coming under some pressure there from Corey Duckmanton in Kane Gemmett's wingless sprint, and Brooke Soper there in that in behind. Both these two are getting quicker every lap they do. There's Duckmanton looking for an inside move and gets underneath Bevan Cast. We'll go back to the front of the field, and he's in clean air as Rusty Liddell comes through this Southbridge Tasty Meats pit turn. Comfortably ahead of the Matt Goddard and the Eddie Swain auto trim car. Still holding on to that second position. Heath Liddell catching up right on Goddard's tail now as we look back. We see that Rusty's on the tail end of the lap cars looking to come through on Bevan Cast, just rubbed a wheel there. He gets the white flag. There's Matt Goddard be fighting to hold out Heath Liddell as they come out of the Dunsandel turn and down the back straight for the last time. It's side by side. They're going to get a lap car in the middle as they push up there. They push Bevan Cast out, but Evan Rusty Liddell will take the win, and Heath Liddell will just get smacked through on Matt Goddard for that third spot. We go back to 24, Greg Preble. Then it'll be Corey Duckmanton coming home ahead of Brooke Soper, and it'll be Bevan Cast rounding out the field. There's certainly good battle there with the sixes. Rusty Liddell made the best of his start. Nearly came unstuck when he went past a lapped car there, but he managed to hang on. Heath putting on a good spirited run to manage to pip Matt Goddard for second place. Goddard third, Preble fourth, and Corey Duckmanton would be credited fifth with that finish in that particular race. Right, youth mini stock's been a bit of a change of placings there. 88 Conley Webley's been relegated 4 spots for jumping the start, so he drops right down the field. So that means that I'm just looking up there, it's 41 Andre Musgrove who's credited with the win ahead of Paige McNally in second. The 28 car of Leila Jeffcoat comes home third. The 20, I've got it down, the 20, what's that number I've written in there? 28 of Leila Jeffcoat, yep, third. 15 car, Connor Turner fourth, and then Webley slots into that fifth spot due to his relegation for jumping the start, apparently. So we have been informed. Oh yeah, what do you call that a start? Southbridge Tasty Meats, that's your one-stop shop for all your meat supplies. They process privately home-cooled products. They source their products locally, make handmade traditional small goods. That's bacon and ham. They do raffle prizes and gifts packs made to order. They also do an extensive gluten-free range. That is Southbridge Tasty Meats, 90 High Street in Southbridge. Well, a big thanks to our track team, headed by Stu Drever. He sent me a photo on Wednesday night. This infield was basically covered in water and the track was covered in hail. And he said they'd make a call on Friday because he said it wasn't going to be a very good bike track at all. He said it was very soft and spongy. But anyway, with a bit of luck from the weather gods and a bit of work, he's managed to turn the track round, and you won't get a better surface than what you see here today. And in fact, he said last night he had to put some water on it, so there you go. But sidecars are coming out now. Looks like we start to lose a few. So we've just got 5 of them. 4. Just the 4 of them. So 23, Ben Morris and Graham Partridge. Down on gate 1, we'll call Bruce Savage and Carl Foster on the 46, gate 2. the brothers Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher on the 69 gate 3, and on the outside father and son team of Nick and Jasmine Colley Kate. Off we go. Oh, a bit of a wobble there as Bruce Turner gets that bike back down on an even keel and gets to the front of the field. Ben Morris and Graham Partridge in that second position. Then we go to Nick and Jasmine Colley Case in that third spot from Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher. That's Bruce Turner. No, not Bruce Savage, sorry. Bruce Savage. Out in front. Carl Foster leans back, gets the weight over the back of that bike as they swing round, try to get as much traction as possible. She's sort of, not sure what comes out the front of it, but she's sort of fuming or venting or whatever you call, vaping or something, whatever you call it. It's been doing that all day, but they're certainly out in front as they pick up the white flag. Ben Morris and Graham Partridge are a wee bit way back at the stage. The Case team hold that third position from Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher, but down the Nairn Electrical back straight for the last time. They swing out of the Springston Hotel turn for the run home. It's the 46, Bruce Savage and Carl Foster, who take out the win from 23. Ben Morris and Graham Partridge. 95, Nick Case and his daughter Jasmine come home in that third position from the 69 of Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher.
I thought for a while we'd gone back in time there.
Yeah, I go back every now and then. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there with Bruce. Uh, 17.47 fastest lap time there for the 23 bike. So yeah, we don't get any race times from there as such for some reason, but just a few lap time. Oh yeah, we've got a total time. What's that? 72.79 for a 4 laps round here at Ellesmere. So the quarter midgets are back. Oh, that's right, I've just got all the updated information. Jack Brownlees has had a problem with his 94 car, so he's, well, you could say he's kicked his sister out. And he's hopped back in his old car for this one. So the field, classified down here as their feature race for the day. There's 8 Romeo Warren Webb on the front on grid 1, 71 Darcy Rasmussen from Nelson on grid 2, 15 DJ Shilton from 3, 18 Monika Rawson from 4. The 12 car of Ben Everett will go from 5, with 22 Miller Johnson from 6. Certainly a lot of improved racing from Miller in these last couple of meetings. Jack Brownlees will take the 23 car out of grid 7 with 98, another lad that's been improving with every meeting he does. Jack Reed going from 8. 95 Jackson Kedsley will go from 9. The 21 of Tom Everett will go from grid 10. And in behind will be the 2 of the newer drivers, the 99 of Joseph Carroll and the 38 of Georgia Lewis. Georgia's a very keen horse lady, so she's swapped 1 horsepower for a few more, and that's good to see. A pretty sad moment for them, but she wanted to run her late granddad's number. The 38 on the car is what she has got. So racing we go with the quarter midgets for their feature, and it's neck and neck into the Dunsandel turn with Romeo Warren Webb down on the inside. Darcy Rasmussen up high. Tucked in behind is the 18 of Monika Rawson. Then we've got DJ Shilton. Jack Brownlees is up a wee bit higher on the track, looking for a run round the top side. Then we go back to Ben Everett, Jackson Kedley, Miller Johnson, Jack Reed, Tom Everett, Georgia Lewis, and the 99 of Joseph Carroll. There's a few of them sorting themselves out as they go down that Duckmanton ag back straight and swing into the pit turn. And this Darcy Rasmussen has got himself ahead of Romeo Warren Webb. Jack Brownlees moves up to third. We've got one stuck on the inside over there, which might be the 99 of young Joseph Carroll, is it? Has come to a stop, and that'll bring out the yellow. There's certainly plenty of action from these quarter midgets. Very good supporters of Ellesemere Raceway, and the fact that there's so many numbers of these cars around now that when half the field decide that their seasons is finished, there's still enough left to continue on, and it's great to see them all here today, including some of those Nelson visitors. So we regroup, and it will be Rasmussen and Romeo Warren Webb on the front. Looks like Rasmussen's decided that he will go from the inside. Second row we'll see Brownlees on grid 3 with DJ Shilton in the 15 from grid 4. Then the 12 of Tom Everett with Monika Rawson and the 18 on the outside. Then Jackson Kedsley from the 22 of Miller Johnson. Then we go back to the 98 of Jack Reed, and alongside Jack will be the 21 of Tom Everett. Then young Joseph Carroll gets another start, and the 33 of Georgia Lewis.
Don't be surprised, Warwick, if young Jack Brownlees wins this one, because he's sitting there on grid 3. He's a lot more comfortable in his old car, as would suggest, than his new car.
Well, it certainly looked that way, Lawrence.
But I think he's going to have to get round Darcy Rasmussen, who's very, very quick indeed also.
Yep. Well, they're lining them up. They pick the pace up and they get underway. Brownlees is looking for an inside run as Rasmussen moves up, and maybe that was his mistake, although he's had the momentum with him. It's Romeo Warren Webb that leads them out from Rasmussen, Jack Brownlees, Ben Everett, then DJ Shilton. There's Miller Johnson looking for a run on the top side of Monika Rawson. Then tucked down below is Jackson Kedsley. Then we go back to Tom Everett, Jack Reed, Joseph Carroll, Georgia Lewis. But down the Cochrane's back straight, it's still Romeo Warren Webb ahead of Darcy Rasmussen. Tucked in that third position is Jack Brownlees. Can he make any gain on them? It's like these front boys are fairly quick. But they've closed up now. Rasmussen moved up. He made the mistake. He moved out wide. So too did Romeo Warren Webb, and it's allowed Brownlees to sneak through underneath them. To the change at the front as the white flag comes out is 23 Jack Brownlees from it was Romeo Warren Webb, but he stayed up too high, and Rasmussen's come through into that second spot. Down the back straight for the last time. Jack Brownlees just leads them into the Southbridge pit turn. Rasmussen holding that second spot from Romeo Warren Webb. Then the 12 of Ben Everett. That's the way they'll finish. Shilton will come home next ahead of Monika Rawson from the 95 of Jackson Kedsley. Then it'll be the 98 of Jack Reed, who must have made a good run at the dying stages of that game to come ahead of the 21 of Tom Everett, the 22 of Miller Johnson, the 99 of Joseph Carroll, and the 38 of Georgia Lewis. So well done to the quarter midget kings. Jack Brownlees certainly showed that his old cars still got plenty of potential, taking out that win over the 71 of Darcy Rasmussen and the 8 of Romeo Warren Webb.
Okay, out now with the final modified sprint race of the afternoon, and out front, Craig Cox in the 5 car, and behind Craig is the 94 of Brendan Hopkins, and also the 44 of Shane Tompkin. So just the 3 cars. As I said earlier, most of these front-running cars seem to be the Suzuki GSXR 1000 motors or the Yamaha R1s. Seem to be the motor of choice.
Just waiting for the little quarter midget to be pushed further into the infield. I think it just turned a little bit too sharp for the push vehicle at the time.
And for some reason the modified sprints have stopped, or 2 of them have.
It's a yellow light.
Well, one of them wants to go racing. I'm not too sure whether Coxie's got a problem and the 44 of Shane Tompkin can't get around him. Oh no, Coxie's away.
Yeah, they just fired up again.
Perhaps these guys can have a standing start, Warwick. So just looking to form up. So I'd suggest perhaps the next lap round. We should be going racing.
Yeah, just don't rush away too soon. Apparently I've just been advised that the sidecars are going to have another run after they'll bring the 6s out, and they'll have another run after that. They're enjoying the track, and a very good track for them. So the boys want to have another run, so there'll be an extra sidecar race later in the program.
Okay, here we go, and it looks like Coxie's got the jump. He make it 3 wins from 3 starts, wouldn't surprise me. Brendan Hopkins sitting there in second in the 94 car, and back there in third and 44 is Shane Tompkin. And I'd suggest that's the way they'll finish. Although I have to say there, Warwick, Brendan Hopkins looks like he's picked up the pace a wee bit, and he's got a little bit closer to Coxie this time round.
Yep, these boys have only been in the car for sort of half a season, these last 2, and they're certainly quickly getting on the pace. 14.74 or something was the time just being read out there. But certainly Coxie's just gets his nose in front, Lawrence. It's pretty hard to peg back.
I don't think he's cured that understeer issue that he had at the Racecourse Hotel in Mo Lodge, Ruapuna Speedway, when he won that last feature race there.
It was quite severe if that's the case, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The track's just going off a little bit. You can see it's starting to slicken off and lay a little bit of rubber down. But man, Stu Breeder's put on a smooth track today.
Down the back straight they go for last time, and it will be Coxie, 3 wins from 3 starts. Second place to Brendan Hopkins in the 94 car, and back there in third is the 44 of Shane Tompkin.
Yeah, certainly quietens down when you get those off the circuit. But yeah, good show. Sorry for those fellas that the rest of the team that had entered it pulled out today. But thank you very much for coming along. The 3 I've no doubt have enjoyed their racing. So their race going to Craig Cox over 94 Brendan Hopkins and the 44 of Shane Tompkin. Well, the gate's open, waiting for the next lot, but we'll tell you about another good supporter of Ellesemere, and was one of the original members of this club way back in the beginning, and that is the Ellesemere Windows and Spider Proofing, run by Grant Clawson. They'll do spider and fly control, residential and commercial, exterior, interior, and it covers all other flying and crawling insects, plant, people and pet friendly, workmanship and products guaranteed, and he is an approved handler of pesticides. Also do window cleaning, residential and commercial, upstairs, downstairs, in and out. Whatever you need, he can sort it out. He's a local businessman with over 30 years in the industry. Contact Grant Clawson for Ellesemere Windows and Spider Proofing. Well, our flat trackers are back again. Just the 5 of them. Know most of these boys off by heart. 351 KTM pilot Tony Cutler. 9 on the TT 500 Yamaha Jamie McDonald. 97 Nicholas Nelson. Another 450 Yamaha, I think it is. 10 Sean Cox on the RMZ 450, and Drakey on the 72. He has a bike for sale. If you want to get into flat track racing, go and see Wayne Drake. You're sitting out there on the top side, just having a little play with Jamie McDonald. So it's Jamie McDonald that leads them through past the Garden City drainage pit gate. He drifts out very high and wide through that pit turn, but manages to hold on to the front spot. Wayne Drake in third, 97 Nicholas Nelson in second, Nicholas Nelson in third, with Sean Cox in that fourth position, and Tony Cutler chasing them around. So Jamie McDonald just steadies himself for that run. Wayne Drake a wee bit higher, a bit more momentum, looking for a run down the good ride back straight as they come into the Southbridge pit turn. Oh, Jamie McDonald's gone well up high and wide on the track, and that leaves the door open for the 97 of Nicholas Nelson to try and come through underneath. Sean Cox is there, still in that fourth position, and Tony Cutler. Might be a change in that second position as Wayne Drake just sits up a wee bit higher on the track. And Nicholas Nelson's found some room to come underneath Jamie McDonald. Sean Cox righted behind McDonald now. So Wayne Drake just doing what he needs to stay up front. Just staying a bit higher and wider, so just letting the boys stay in contact with him. White flag come out, just one more lap to go. So Wayne Drake through the Southbridge pit turn for the last time. He'll come through, just pick out the win from 97 Nicholas Nelson, the 9 of Jamie McDonald, the 10 of Sean Cox, and it will be 351 of Tony Cutler, who brings the Katie home in that fifth spot. So yep, it's a shame we lost a couple of these today, but many thanks for those flat trackers.
And I believe the flat trackers run up at Rosebank Park in Auckland.
Yep.
With the solos
Yep,
and
they
sidecars.
do. Yep, like these ones do at Moore Park. We can get 15 on the track at Moore Park when they all get together. Limited to about 12 at Rosebank because it's a little bit narrower. I suppose if they all trotted through, we could put a full 20 field out here, be no problem at all on this one. Right, we see the tow trucks coming back out. We'll give you another good sponsor for us is Ellesemere Excavation and Aggregate. They can deliver all your driveway, yards, or building building supply materials, whatever you need. Some soak holes to driveway chip, all sorts, direct from the quarry or the yard.
Okay.
That is Ellesemere Excavation and Aggregate Limited. C grade.
Okay, well, off with the C grades again. Another standing start. I'd like to see a Le Mans start for these guys. Okay, away and racing in 31. Wayne Sullivan, sorry, gets the jump, but he's been overtaken there by Chad Pavlin. Chad Pavlin leads them down the back straight from Dean Vioski. Oh, there goes a big move from Dennis Luscombe right round the outside of our early race leader, Wayne Sullivan. Down the front straight they come. Earl Luscombe looking very racy indeed, right round the outside of Dean Vioski. Down the back straight they go. Chad Pavlin leads them ahead of Earl Luscombe. Oh, coming through into third there is the 72 of Dylan Anderson. Hasn't had it all his own way here this afternoon at Ellesmere. Has had a first and a second. But it is a much tighter race this time around with Chad Pavlin leading them down the back straight for the second time. Earl Luscombe's right there in the 64 car. Then back to the 72 of Dylan Anderson. Dennis Luscombe in the 65 car. And at the tail of the field, it looks like 669 Dean Vioski and the 31 of Wayne Sullivan. Oh, it's side-by-side racing down the back straight. Earl Luscombe gets his nose in front now from Chad Pavlin and Dylan Anderson. Dennis Luscombe right there as well. Of course, finished second in the first race. Back there in fourth this time around. But Earl Luscombe leads them down the back straight once again. How much longer can he hold off Dylan Anderson's very quick 72 car? Oh, the rear wheel comes off the ground from from Earl Luscombe once again. So through turns 1 and 2 they go, and Dylan Anderson will be looking for a run on Earl Luscombe down the back straight. It's a couple of car lengths back. Still there in third place is Chad Pavlin, ahead of Dennis Luscombe and Wayne Sullivan. But Earl Luscombe still holding off Dylan Anderson. Doing a stellar job out front is Earl Luscombe. Only a lap and a half to go. And what can Dylan Anderson do about Earl Luscombe? He's hugging on that pole line for dear life. Runs a little bit wide. And Dylan Anderson round the outside. Can't make it stick though. Still there in third place is Dennis Luscombe in the 65 car, ahead of Chad Pavlin and Wayne Sullivan. Into turns 3 and 4 for last time. It's going to be a bit of a nudge there from Dylan Anderson. He looks like he's getting a bit frustrated. Earl Luscombe going sideways down the front straight, trying to hold off Dylan Anderson in the 72 car. Dennis Luscombe will be back there in third in the 65 car from Chad Pavlin, just ahead of Wayne Sullivan. And at the tail of the field will be the 669 of Dean Borowski.
Oh, well, many thanks to the C grade. I know they've been chomping at the bit to get back here to Ellesmere, but you've just got to front up with the numbers. And they certainly did that today, so I hope they've enjoyed themselves. Just many thanks once again. We keep saying it, but we must thank our volunteers who put in their time to help keeping the club running. If you think you might be interested in helping out or doing a job on race day, certainly come along. We'll find something for you to do. Your efforts are very much appreciated.
Well, this will be the final hit out for the youth mini stocks before their New Zealand Youth Mini Stock title at Oxford Speedway next weekend. Of course, that's a 2-day event. And of course, a lot of these guys will be looking for more track time. Guys and girls, I should say, because I think we've got more girls on the field than what we've got guys. So Layla Jeffcoat will start off grid 1. Alongside of her is Kayla Musgrove in the 55 car. Off grid 3 is car 112, that's Paige McNally. On the outside of Paige McNally is car number 7, Tony Lee Best. Off grid 5 is car number 15, that's Connor Turner. Then we move back, it looks like there's a gap on the outside, so the next row of the grid we've got car 88, Conley Webley. On his outside is the 41, the Nelson car of Andre Musgrove, and at the back of the field we have car number 32, Isabel Harris. And it looks like we're away and racing. And Layla Jeffcoat, your race leader. Of course, Layla's just 14 years of age, and she's running a Datsun-powered mini stock, but she's got the 112 of Paige McNally right there. Gets a bit untidy, and Andre Musgrove goes right round the outside in the 41 car. The 41 car of Andre Musgrove, just 13 years of age, will take over the lead now. Down the back straight they go, and Layla Jeffcoat still sitting there in second place. Paige McNally just getting a wee bit impatient, trying to get past Layla Jeffcoat, and Conley Webley sits there in fourth place in the 88 top of the South Nelson car. Back there in fifth place you've got Connor Turner, and then we go back to Tony Lee Best in that immaculate looking 7 car, and at the tail of the field we've got the 55 of Kayla Musgrove and the 32 of Isabel Harris. As we pick up your race leaders down the back straight, look at this, Paige McNally has taken over the lead from Andre Musgrove, but here comes Conley Webley. Conley Webley in the 88 car, he has been the form man here this afternoon. Of course, he's won 2 races, got put back to around about 5th place in that second race. So he'll be trying to make it 3 wins from 3 starts on the track at least. And back there in 4th at the moment, a good battle between Connor Turner and, oh, there's a big hit in the wall, and Andre Musgrove has gone over. Paige McNally just ahead of Andre Musgrove, so I'm not too sure what happened there. I think there's someone got a wee bit sandwiched between cars. So it looks like this race has been called. And just looking at the way things are down that back straight, is that Connor Turner maybe in front in car number 15 ahead of the 88 at this stage of Conley Webley and the 28 of Layla Jeffcoat. So we'll just check the placings as they've come across the line. '88, 28, 7 and 55. I think 28 doesn't have a 15 doesn't have a transponder. Yeah, so I think it's the 88, 28 and 15. And Tony Lee Best back there in 4th place, so good drive from her. And the 55 in the 5th and the 32 should be in the 6th place. So that's unfortunate for Andre Musgrove in the 41 car. Of course, Andre, 14 years of age from Nelson. And also Paige McNally, of course, comes from the stock car and street stock family, if you like, the McNallys. And young Paige is only 12 years of age, so I can see a good future from Paige McNally in the Rob race car. Of course, she was first in the New Zealand CTRA development class at Ashburton last weekend. Okay, fastest lap in that previous race was set by Conley Webley, a 19.980. So in the flat, as far as the flat trackers are concerned, just looking here, the fastest of the flat trackers was a 20.67 by Tony Cutler. Only 3 of them running transponders. So you can see those wee quarter midgets are very quick indeed. And the youth mini stocks, I should say the youth mini stocks there, 19.8 by Conley Webley. 19.98, sorry. There's a lot of good drivers that have come out of the quarter midgets previously. We've seen the likes of former two-time New Zealand sprint car champion Jamie Larson came out of youth mini stocks, and of course another one was Jordan Deere. Of course, he appeared on Married at First Sight in New Zealand a couple of years back. There's another one that came out of the youth mini stocks. And of course, Ashton Osborne, who's now running very competitively in saloon cars. In fact, I think he finished in 4th place in the New Zealand Saloon Car Championship up there in the North Island this year.
Well, that's a bit of good news there, because the young fella's just got himself out of the car, so a bit of a round of applause for him. He'll be disappointed, probably more interested in what damage has been done, but he seems quite okay. Well, I'm down here with the start-finish with our flag man, who's also the president of the Canterbury Vintage Speedway Enthusiast Club. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But we get there. This is the last one for Ellesemere, but you've got another track day next weekend.
That's right. Yeah, final track day for the season is coming Sunday. If the weather gods behave, we should have some quite interesting cars out there. So if you've got nothing else to do, come along and have a look. We don't charge anything for admittance for spectators, and it goes from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good, and we certainly had a very good day a couple of weeks back when they were here. And there was a few solo bikes and flat trackers as well. Great, with seems to be an increasing field of midgets coming out.
Yes, there's quite a few midgets have come into the hands of members and new members of the club. We've picked up quite a number of new members this last 12 months, and they've all come along to the club with cars ready to go. So it's very encouraging.
Well, that's good. Well, thanks, Andrew. But that's the story. Next weekend from 11 till 3, the Canterbury Vintage Speedway Enthusiasts Club will have a track day. And there's a range of vehicles there. We had a saloon. There's a couple of American style sprint cars, some older modified out here, early TQs, midgets right through to the upright solos, and of course the flat trackers. So there's something to watch. Pretty relaxed day if the weather's fine.
Exactly. And we're praying for the weather gods to just keep their rain away for another 10 days, and we'll be all quite happy.
Well, I think Stu's done a brilliant job with this track to get it down for what we've seen today, considering that he was thinking of they may have to pull the pin on the meeting on Friday night because it was so waterlogged out here. So It was only a day and a half between Friday and Sunday, and I think he's done a brilliant job.
Yes, he always does, and when we're having our vintage track days, the surface is absolutely magnificent. You can tell by the smiles on the faces of the participants at the end of the day that they've had a good run on it, and the track's really well prepared.
Okay, thanks, Andrew, and thanks for you and your team that manned the gates and the flags during the season. You back for another one?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I guess I'll be here next season.
Okay, thanks very much.
Well, young Page, I believe, is related to Sinead McNally, who's a top stock car driver who I saw down in the pits earlier. So a good chance to wish all the mums a good and happy Mother's Day. And still a bit of work trying to get the 41N car over, the Andrei Musgrove car. So Warwick, I don't know if you can hear me down there, but a few of the highlights during the season here at Ellesmere. New Zealand midget car, New Zealand TQ championship, CTRA titles, and the sidecar title even.
Yeah, there's always been a few highlights here at Ellesmere. It just seems to be the place to come when they put on an event. And certainly the visiting midgets were a bit of a highlight, and it's great to see the sidecars and some of the bikes back here as well. Certainly have to do a wee bit of work during the off season and just get a little bit more compact and a bit more organised, because we've had 2 or 3 meetings. We've just struggled to get fields with the clashes of dates and other bits and pieces, long weekends. So there certainly will be some planning during the off season. I understand there's a potentially that the saloon cars will be here early next season, where the club's been approached to run a couple of events for them. That's the super saloons and the saloons themselves as part of their series. So just keep an eye on the webpage. There could be some information coming to light about that in the future.
Well, how come the production saloon's first car out, car number 17, that is Vaughan Fairburn, 47 years of age. In the Honda Tornio. Of course, this is a car he built. He's been former 3NZ in New Zealand production racing. His favourite circuit is Cromwell. He's sponsored by Brown and Patterson and Honda Store. So he starts off grid 2. Off grid 1 is Ian Clark in the 21 car, the man from Rolleston. In the Honda Integra Type R. Okay, it looks like we're racing, and the battle's really going to be between these two. And it looks like Vaughan Fairburn has hit the front already, so I can't see Clarkey coming back from that. Into third place now is the 188s. And this is the third race, so this is not Bruce Cable anymore. This is the Greg Rooney driving the car. And Samuel Jack has a look up the inside of Rooney, but no match, I'd suggest, for the big 3.8 Commodore. Same sort of motor that the wingless Sprints have in their cars. Further back, you've got a good dice between the two Ryans. Aaron Ryan in the ex-Lee Crew car, and of course the car number 10 is Casey Ryan in the ex-Hiddleston car. Down the back straight, Vaughan Fairburn showing his class and a lap time of 18.635, so very quick indeed. Still there in second place is Clarkey in the former 3NZ car. It's the Integra. Back there in third place is the 88 of Greg Rooney. Greg Rooney, he's a trade salesman in a VZ Commodore. And Samuel Jack right there, another driver also from Rolleston, 17 years of age. Of course, he's, I believe he's raced motorcycles as well. He's sponsored by Smith and Jack Accounting. But down the back straight they go, and it is the 17 car of Vaughan Fairburn, about to put a lap on Aaron Ryan. Aaron Ryan, and just ahead of him is his son, Casey Ryan, so a bit of bragging rights. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be doing the dishes tonight. But Vaughan Fairburn in the 17 car is your race leader. Oh, there we go, Aaron Ryan. Just as I said that about the dishes, he's gone past his son, Casey, in the 10 car. So sitting there in second place is still the 21 of Ian Clark. A long way back from Vaughan Fairburn this time around. Through turns 3 and 4 he goes to Vern and takes the checkered flag. Second place will go to 21 Ian Clark, and the third placing to 197 Samuel Jack, getting the better of the Sidecar Tools Commodore of Greg Rooney. Further back you've got, it looks like Aaron Ryan just got ahead of his son Casey, so it looks like Casey will be on dish duty this evening. And that was pretty much your field. And a lap time of 18.587 for Vern Fairburn, car number 17.
Yeah, so Vaughan Fairburn taking that win out for 21 Ian Clark, 197 Samuel Jack in the third from Greg Rooney in the 188, and then the 8 of Aaron Ryan coming home ahead of Casey. So the sixes are coming out for their final run, and then we'll have a extra sidecar race for those that are still up and running after them to round out the season. Yeah, so an 8 lap time there of 2.31.97 for Vaughan Fairburn. I'll check all the records out later and just see if there's any changes, but now with the My Laps we're getting quite a good list of race times.
And I think some of that credit must go to the track crew, of course, do a stellar job out here.
So we got Matt Goddard and Heath Liddell on the front row, Greg Preble and Rusty Liddell on the second row. We're missing Bevan Cast, but we've got the two wingless sprints in behind, Corey Duckmanton and Brooks Sobar. So away they go, and this time Matt Goddard is taken off. There's a bit of a wheel insert that just dropped on the track, about 3 poles down from the start finish. But I don't think that'll cause too much of a problem for the cars, or the top or something, or whatever it was. It just flipped up, but it's got munted now anyway. But it's Matt Goddard out in front from Heath Liddell, then Rusty Liddell, Greg Preble. This looks like he's taking the slow line down there, getting rounded up by Corey Duckmanton and Brooks Sofa. Maybe something off Greg's car came in. Not sure, but he's retired to the infield anyway. But Matt Goddard's quickly going to get the hurry up from Heath Liddell as we look across into the sun as they come out of the Springbok Hotel turn down that Duckmanton Ag back straight, swinging into the Southbridge pit turn. Goddard up high, Liddell in behind. Now looking for an inside run as Goddard drifted out too high on that turn, and he's made it through. So Heath Liddell goes to the front of the field. Matt Goddard, he's put his foot up it. He's spun it around. He's just, well, he did well to stop it there, but now he's on the wet stuff, and he'll probably struggle to get out of there in a hurry. Not as quick as he was thinking anyway. So he's really dropped down to the tail of the field. So he now has some work to do. So the Heath Liddell in front of Dad Rusty. Then it's Corey Duck Manton from Brook Soper and Matt Goddard. So the white flag has been out. So now the checkered comes out for 21. Heath Liddell, he goes through. 11. Rusty will take that second position. And it will be the 71 of Corey Duck Manton who comes home third. Matt Goddard has just managed to get underneath Brook Soper in the 57 for that fourth position. And the unfortunate one was Greg Preble. Not sure what it was. And something flicked off. It looked pretty safe there for a while, but then it's got run over several times.
And Bevan Cast missing this time around.
Yep. No, he didn't front up at all. His car is on the trailer. So, yeah, good show from those. They did have 6 cars, but one, Jesse Knight had to pull out, had some work commitments he was called into. So, unfortunately, he dropped out today, but otherwise this is the only resident class here at Ellesmere, and we're pushing to get them included in every race meeting because this is the only track that they run at. The boys are just going around just pushing the top side down a little bit for this last sidecar race. So certainly good to see you, those of you who have spent your Mother's Day here with us. We see the clouds are just building up, so the weather forecast may well have been pretty much bang on with the rain coming through later tonight. And we're grateful that it's missed us today. So we'll just see what sidecars we get out here. Obviously keen to have another run. Of course, the New Zealand Sidecar Champs is held up in Palmerston North next season. That is a clay-based track, and there has been a request from the sidecar section to try and get on to Ellesmere more often as a run to that particular event. All the North Island tracks are, apart from Rosebank, which is very similar to Arete and Moore Park, the rest of the tracks are clay-based, and a lot of the top sidecar units in the North Island are pretty quick on those. And for any South Islanders to be competitive, they need some clay time.
Of course, Nelson is clay too.
Palmerston North is a big track, very similar to this one here. Not as wide, of course. But, Palmerston North has always been a strong hold for the sidecar class.
Well, it's similar to this track in that it's a fast track too.
Well, we just got the 4 of them coming up. 46, Bruce Savage and Carl Foster, starting on the outside by the looks of things. 95 of Nick Case and Jasmine Collie Case. They decided they're going to go around and have a bit of a look completely. That is Ben Morris and Graham Partridge have teamed up late in this season, going on what we call that, say, grid 2. They left a big gap there, depends where the others come in. 69, new combination basically today. Bailey Partridge and his brother Tyler Fisher on the ex-Knuckle Hill bike. down on grid 1. And the father and daughter team of Nick and Jasmine Collie Case will come in to grid 3 on the 95 machine. All these around 1000 cc's. Oh, a bit of a jump start there from Bruce Savage. Or the other ones have had a bit of a tumble there, and we've lost Tyler Fisher, but he's got off and gone infield.
Oh, he's a bit sore, I think.
Hurt his foot though, but he's trying to get in clear.
He's having trouble walking.
So he's having trouble walking. So the safety aspect, they've put the red flag out. Just got unbalanced there at the start. Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher, and Tyler fell off.
Now, you mentioned the 23 bike of Ben Morris and
Graham Partridge.
Was it Jeff Roper was the partner to Ben Morris when he won those Ellesemere titles?
Yeah, he was, and he's now teamed up with Taylor Green. So it's Taylor Green and Jeff Roper. Ben Morris has come back to the sport last half of this season and purchasing the Bradley Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat bike. Well, the brothers are back up and running. Oh, they're keen enough. Just a club day, they're going to come back in again by the looks of things. They'll relegate themselves a little bit further down the pack. Well, we'll go back to the front of the field. This time it's the 23 of Ben Morris and Graham Partridge who get the jump at the start, get themselves to the front of the field from the 46 of Bruce Savage and Carl Foster. Nick and Jasmine Case in that third position. Go back to Bradley Partridge and Tyler Fisher as they come on through. So Ben Morris, Graham Partridge had his own bike, and he's given that away to get back on the side with Ben Morris. They come round at the head of the field, they quick another lap off. Bruce Savage and Carl Foster trying pretty hard to get to close the gap, but they're still well back in second place. 95 of Nick and Jasmine Collie Case in that third position, but the Partridge-Fisher combination have been closing them in. The white flag's out for Ben Morris and Graham Partridge as they swing out of the Southbridge pit turn down the good ride back straight for the last time. They hit the Dunsandle turn for the run home, out wide this time. It's 23, Ben Morris and Graham Partridge who take the win from Bruce Savage and Carl Foster. Then the 95 of Nick and Jasmine Collie Case come home in third, and the ones that had the bad start, the 69, Bailey Partridge and Tyler Fisher, round out the field in that fourth place. And then they've come in field again. Oh, it'll take a wee while for them to sort that bike out. That's the ex-Knuckle Hill Honda. So a big step up for those lads. Well, many thanks for your attendance this afternoon and throughout the season. Warwick Castagne and on behalf of Lawrence Sidnell will sign off and look forward to seeing you again next year. Just keep an eye on the Facebook pages. Any information we come up with or which we need to know will be there, and we look forward to having your support again next year.